are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the Constitution and you install yourself as the sole power, that is how dictators are made.
In a surprising twist, new speculation has surfaced suggesting that Representative Ilhan Omar may once again face scrutiny over her citizenship status, a claim that has reignited political tensions across Washington. Within hours, social media became a battleground of opinions, as unverified reports circulated widely and reignited debate over her past remarks and record in Congress. Although no official inquiry has been announced, the rumors alone have drawn intense public attention, dominating both headlines and talk shows. During a live interview, Omar firmly dismissed the claims as baseless and politically motivated, calling them an effort to discredit her work and silence her perspective. Observers noted that, despite her steady tone, moments of visible strain hinted at the emotional toll of the relentless questioning. What began as an online rumor has evolved into a defining national conversation, one that probes not only Omar's past, but also the limits of political discourse, media responsibility, and the nation's standard for truth in leadership.
Elon Musk, I want to see if you want to respond to him. He is actually singling you out on X. He retweeted a post that alleged you were telling Somalians who are illegally in the country how to avoid deportation. You do speak Somali in the clip, and the translation, according to the translation, it shows you telling people that if ICE attempts to question them, they are not obliged to answer those questions. I do not speak Somali, and I'm basing this on the translation that he retweeted here. And this is guidance that we have heard from many immigration advocates. But Musk says that you are, quote, breaking the law literally outright. Do you want to respond to that?
Well, it just shows you how much he lacks an understanding of what the laws of this country are. In the clip, it was an interview that I gave to a reporter. I'm not in that room, actually, that they pan out to. That is an edited video. And in the interview, I was asked, what would I say to Somalis who are undocumented or who their documentations might have lapsed? And it is important for people to exercise their Fifth Amendment right to remain silent unless they feel confident.
Representative Chip Roy entered the discussion swiftly and decisively, asserting that accountability in government must apply to every elected official without exception. He called for a careful review of Representative Omar's documentation, emphasizing that transparency is a foundation of public trust. Roy's remarks ignited sharp exchanges across party lines, with some lawmakers applauding his commitment to integrity, while others accused him of deepening partisan divides. Senator John Kennedy soon joined the conversation with his trademark candor, telling reporters, if the evidence doesn't align, there have to be consequences. His comments spread rapidly, resonating with citizens who feel disillusioned by what they perceive as political double standards. Later, Kennedy clarified that his words were not an accusation, but a reminder that public office demands unshakable honesty. His insistence on fairness and ethical conduct underscored a growing public demand that the rules of accountability must be enforced equally, no matter who stands in question.
madaxweynaha Soomaaliya madaxweyne Xasan Sheikh Maxamuud inaan maanta ku soo dhaweyno Minneapolis.
During a high-stakes live interview, Representative Ilhan Omar faced intense questioning about her immigration history and the renewed allegations surrounding her. As the discussion grew more confrontational, Omar's frustration became visible. She argued that the line of questioning was biased, designed not to inform the public, but to discredit her personally. The host attempted to refocus the conversation, but the exchange had already drawn national attention. Within hours, clips from the broadcast circulated online under headlines suggesting that Omar had lost her composure. Public opinion split immediately. Critics pointed to the moment as evidence of evasiveness, while supporters defended her as a target of unfair scrutiny. On Capitol Hill, the episode widened existing political divides. Representative Chip Roy and Senator John Kennedy reiterated that transparency must come before partisanship, while progressive leaders denounced what they saw as political persecution. The incident quickly became a test case for how truth, accountability, and personal dignity intersect in America's increasingly polarized political landscape.
Had on X, you said that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, U.S. citizen, should be deported to her home country of Somalia. Omar became a naturalized citizen at 17. Why did you do that?
Listen, my colleague Ilhan Omar, she is an American citizen. She is a member of the House of Representatives. I didn't call for her to be deported, but I did say that America would be better off were she deported. I think that there is a serious problem, particularly given after the past 4 years of open borders, of Democrats facilitating the invasion of our country by illegal aliens. My colleague Ilhan Omar was advising illegal alien Somalis on how to evade ICE detection. That is as un-American as you can possibly get. It's unbecoming of a congressperson.
What evidence?
And I absolutely
where are
think
you
that
getting
it is
that from specifically? Where are you getting that from specifically?
We have the audio of her doing that.
But do you think that
interview?
She is a duly elected member of Congress.
She has a duty
constituents
to uphold
put her
the
in
values
office
and customs of America, not to represent foreign illegal aliens who shouldn't be here to begin with. And I think that raises serious questions.
Is helping people understand what the laws are. But listen.
That raises serious. To whom is she most loyal? Illegal aliens, Somalis, or American citizens?
She's representing her constituents.
Very legitimate question.
As a member of Congress, Congressman Brandon Gale.
Behind closed doors, congressional aides report that quiet discussions over Ilhan Omar's situation have been ongoing for several weeks. Some insiders suggest that leadership figures are carefully reviewing available information before deciding whether further action is necessary. Others, however, dismiss the chatter as little more than political maneuvering during a heated election cycle. What is certain is that the topic has reached a point of no return. Lawmakers who once avoided comment are now being pressed to take a position, especially in light of public remarks from Representative Roy and Senator Kennedy. Legal experts have cautioned against speculation, noting that the removal of naturalized citizens will require overwhelming and incontrovertible proof of wrongdoing, which has not yet emerged. Still, the persistence of these rumors speaks volumes about the fragile state of public trust. Every detail of Omar's history is now being revisited, not through verified fact, but through a distorting lens of political tension and public doubt.
This debate today, it's about who gets to be an American. What opinions do we have to have to be counted as Americans? This is what this debate is about, Madam Speaker. There is this idea that you are a suspect if you are an immigrant, or if you are from certain parts of the world, or a certain skin tone, or a Muslim. It is no accident that members of the Republican Party accused the first black president, Barack Obama, of being a secret Muslim.
Amid growing controversy, Representative Ilhan Omar appeared on national television with unmistakable resolve, declaring, "They cannot silence me for standing up for what's right." Her words galvanized both admiration and criticism. Supporters praised her defiance as an act of courage, while opponents viewed it as a sign of mounting pressure. In response, Senator John Kennedy remarked, "If there's nothing to hide, there's no reason to lash out." A statement that reignited debate over whether the controversy reflects flaws in the immigration system or deeper issues within American politics itself. To many of her allies, Omar represents a voice unafraid to challenge entrenched power. To her critics, she embodies a refusal to take responsibility. Representative Chip Roy weighed in once again, stating, "Public service isn't about loyalty to parties. It's about loyalty to the truth." His words resonated with citizens demanding fairness and honesty from all sides, adding yet another layer to an already charged national dialogue.
It is no accident that former President Donald Trump led a birther movement that falsely claimed he was born in Kenya. Because to them, falsely labeling the first and only President of the United States of America a Muslim and African immigrant somehow made him less American. Well, I am Muslim. I am an immigrant. And interestingly, from Africa. Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? Or that they see me as a powerful voice that needs to be silenced? Frankly, it is expected, because when you push power, power pushes back. Representation matters. Continuing to expand our ideas of who is American and who can partake in the American experiment is a good thing. I am an American who was sent here, by her constituents to represent them in Congress, a refugee who survived the horrors of a civil war, someone who spent her childhood in a refugee camp, someone who knows what it means to have a shot at a better life here in the United States.
At present, there is no official indication that Representative Ilhan Omar faces deportation proceedings. Nonetheless, the controversy surrounding her continues to grow, fueled by speculation, commentary, and political reaction. Each televised appearance, interview, and statement adds momentum to an already volatile situation. Analysts warn that the ongoing uproar could shape the narrative of the upcoming election cycle, particularly if new information, whether factual or not, emerges in the months ahead. Regardless of how events unfold, Omar's position in this debate has become emblematic of a much larger issue: the tension between accountability, perception, and fairness in public life. Her recent on-air exchanges suggest that the pressure surrounding her is far from over, and that this story may only be entering its next, more complicated chapter.
And it's great to have you here. I mean, we'll talk about the Nancy Mace of all of this in a moment, but on that resolution that passed today, a lot of your House colleagues, the Democrats, voted yes on this. Why did you vote no?
Yeah, well, I condemn political violence, and I obviously condemn the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I just not get myself to honor a legacy that I believe was filled with hate, bigotry, and rage baiting. And I think it's really important for us to have this honest conversation about what this man's legacy was, you know, what he spewed on his podcast, and the ways in which he disparaged women of color like myself.
Your colleague, another Democrat, Jamie Raskin, voted yes on this resolution. He basically said, even if he didn't agree with every phrase in it, that he viewed it as a moment for both parties to come together. Do you think he's wrong in that?
Well, the moment should exist, but what we have seen this week in regards to what my Republican colleagues have decided to do in their attacks targeting me, and what the president has decided to do, these are people who are calling basically for our assassination of us. Nancy Mace, as you just referenced, called me the enemy of the state. And so these are not people who are interested in bringing us together. They're not interested in, turning the volume down. They're not interested in finding common ground. And even the Republicans who voted out of their obligation to the Constitution and doing the right thing in making sure that I didn't get censured for words I did not actually say, they are being under attack right now. They're being threatened. A call for their resignation is out there, and some of them are actually frightened for their lives from their own base. And so, when we say we want a country that's united, it starts with all of us and all of our actions, and we're not seeing that on the other side of the aisle right now.
Yeah, and to be clear on Mace, she didn't literally call for your assassination, but you're saying because of all of the comments, I mean, we just showed the dozens of tweets directed at you, that she is, you're arguing, instigating violence against you.
Right. I mean, what do you expect for people to do with me when you call me the enemy of the state? What do you do with people to do with me when you're the president of the United States and you say this person here in Congress is in our country to destroy the country? There is no clear way to incite violence against a sitting member of Congress and unless you go after them in that kind of way. Nancy Mace also also retweeted something Charlie Kirk said, which was that Islam was the sword that was going to slit the throat of Western civilization. As
tensions reached a boiling point on the House floor as rumors of Ilhan Omar's potential deportation became the focus of heated debate. Representative Chip Roy demanded transparency, arguing that public trust cannot exist without full disclosure. Progressive lawmakers immediately pushed back, accusing their Republican counterparts of turning the issue into a political weapon. The exchange ended without resolution, but exposed the deep fractures that now define Congress. Senator John Kennedy's sharp remark, "If you bend the rules to get here, you can't write the rules for everyone else," spread rapidly across the country, echoing frustrations among voters tired of perceived double standards. In a later press conference, Omar condemned the rumors as an attack on immigrants who have earned their place in America, insisting that truth would ultimately prevail. Kennedy countered that emotion must never outweigh evidence, adding, "If her record is clean, she has nothing to fear." Outside the Capitol, protests erupted, while an unverified leak about immigration records reignited the entire debate. Days later, Omar addressed the nation once more, declaring, "This is my home, and I'm not going anywhere." Kennedy's response was typically succinct. Time will tell. The confrontation among Omar, Kennedy, and Roy has since come to symbolize a broader national divide, one centered on truth, accountability, and the very meaning of belonging in American public life.